Pittsburgh Steelers beating KC. How about that big three, Big Ben, Le'Veon, and AB doing their thing?
I felt like I was on some sort of bar crawl yesterday, sitting at home on my couch. Lions Saints, 90 points of voodoo. The Cardinals ran out my 2009 fantasy team. The Chargers win in the witching hour. The Bears, the Steelers, the Vikings. Shots. Brock Osweiler was on national TV last night playing. It's crazy. Go home, someone hold my hair back, because it's always, how it is in a bar crawl. You're always like, let's do that one more stop. Let's do one more drink. And I feel like that was the Sunday night game, which was the craziest of all.
What I call football wasted.
My man. That's right.
Who called the Bears upset? It was you, right?
I think I did, Kat.
You mentioned Chicago there, too. To me, it was Trubisky beating the Ravens by throwing the ball 17 times with Trey McBride and Tanner Gentry as his top wide receiver starting. Wild Sunday of football. We were all loving every second. So let's do it and get you highlights.
They win 23-10, and we caught up with head coach Mike McCarthy about losing the best player on the Packers.
As far as the quarterback position, Brett Hundley's my quarterback. Joe Callahan's the backup. That's the direction we're going. That is the focus, and that's where we are as a football club.
Brutal injury. We all call him 007. Carries the team on his back. Always fourth quarter, heroics that go on with Aaron Rodgers, who may, in fact, be done for the season. Some confidence in the backup, Brett Hundley, from, of course, Coach Mike McCarthy. Kyle, how are you feeling about this?
I'm sick about it. Absolutely. And it's not a Packers thing. It is a Aaron Rodgers is the best player in football thing. And I'm down. I know the injury gods are cruel and they demand sacrifice, but taking Rodgers, it feels like Michael Jordan never had the major injury in the middle of his career. LeBron never had the major injury. And I'm down. I don't know if you guys can pick me up or something, because I'm looking at the league right now. We have lost the best running back, the best wide receiver, the best safety, the best pass rusher of the generation, and now the best quarterback. So I hate this. I'm sick about it. Lift me up, guys. You're my friends. Can someone make me feel better about Aaron Rodgers?
Okay, so I will come at it this way. Going into his sophomore season, Brett Hundley was like the #1 quarterback. Everyone said, Brett Hundley, UCLA, this is the next great thing. He didn't have a great junior year. He leaves, goes in the 5th round to the Packers. Initially, I don't think there was anything that was jumping off the page. But this past summer, I was hearing from all of my sources in Green Bay that the greatest improvement from any player was from Brett Hundley. They felt like he finally had stepped up into that role. And he came from this very decorated draft class of quarterbacks, that he finally had stepped up and was ready to emerge. And he beat out Taysom Hill, and he beat out Callahan, and he was the #2 with no doubts. And I remember back, and I'm not comparing the two because one of them was a first-round pick who almost went first overall, but when Brett Favre went down in Dallas that game, and Brett Hundley came in, and not Brett Hundley, Aaron Rodgers came in, showed flashes. You're like, all right, this guy. I thought Hundley showed flashes. Now, look, is this going to make us forget Odell Beckham and J.J. Watt and all these guys who are superstars who are not on the field? No. But is there a new star maybe that we could have in the making? Yes. Okay. Why not embrace this and say, okay, it's Brett Hundley's team. We're still talking about the Packers. We're still talking about a division that's wide open, and can he not beat Case Keenum / Teddy Bridgewater? Can he not beat a Detroit Lions team that I saw just get the snot beat out of him yesterday in New Orleans? Can he not beat the Bears? Brett Hundley can do this. Brett Hundley was the quarterback at UCLA. Okay, he can do this. Yeah. I have confidence that he can lead this.
He can do what, though? Because Aaron Rodgers is irreplaceable,
he can win, I think you're saying.
He can win, and he's not Aaron Rodgers, of course. But here's the thing. The fans are going to remain distraught, because if Brett Hundley doesn't play like Brett Favre, then people are going to feel like they're cheated, because they're #1 quarterback, their #1 player. Some would say the best player in all of football is going to be sitting on the sideline for the majority of the season. Now, I'll take it into the locker room, because I'm sitting here and I watch Aaron Rodgers go down, and being a guy that played for the Lions, played for the Vikings, the NFC North has always been the Green Bay Packers division for quite some time. But now it's up in the air. So if I'm in any locker room, you look around and you say, okay, well, they had a quarterback change in Chicago. Okay, I see Trubisky, you guys first win. You look at Minnesota, they got quarterback issues. Dalvin Cook goes down. Okay, you look at the Lions, seem like they got a hold on things, but they get blown out in New Orleans. And now you look at the Green Bay Packers, they're without Aaron Rodgers. So if I'm a player wearing any one of those jerseys, who's going to step up? Right now is the prime time. And I don't want to sound cold-hearted as if I don't care about the injuries, but what I do know, they're inevitable, and they're going to happen. but you have to take advantage of these windows. This is an advantage for teams, not the Packers. So if you're the Bears, if you're the Vikings, you're the Detroit Lions, you have an opportunity when the best player is sitting on the sideline, you can step up. Now, I'm not saying that Brett can't do the job, but I am saying this is an opportunity of a lifetime for them to take advantage
Can
this year.
I just throw something out there for the three of you?
Yeah.
Curious your thoughts? Yeah. Who gives them a better chance to win right now? Brett Hundley, who's been in the system for the last 3 years.
Don't do it.
Or Colin Kaepernick.
I thought you were going to say Tony Romo, and I was like, don't do it.
I thought the same thing.
Or Colin Kaepernick.
Brett Hundley.
Brett Hundley.
Yeah, very, very athletic guy who's been in the system for 3 years. I don't judge him what he did yesterday. Threw 3 picks against the Vikings out of nowhere. I think they're committed to Brett Hundley. McCarthy's all in on Hundley. Kaepernick might be able to make a play, but I go Hundley.
I would say Colin Kaepernick.
Why?
Not seeing him play and all.
Because I've heard that he's in tremendous shape.
Right.
He has fresh legs. And sometimes when you have an injury like this, you need a new face in a new jersey that brings a spark to a squad. I'm not saying Brett's not the guy. Brett could play amazing.
Yeah.
But sometimes having a strange face in a new place, i.e. Arizona Cardinals, it can mean a lot for a system.
I will say this: whoever the backup is, and it clearly is Brett Hundley. You look at you mentioned the rest of the division. Case Keenum won 3 games in relief of Sam Bradford. Jacoby Brissett, we've seen him win for the Colts 2 games. Josh McCown has won 3 of the last 4 games and almost handed the Patriots an upset loss at home. I'm just saying, whoever the backup is can win. And if you're looking at where they're standing, I'm looking at the schedule. I know you joke about sizing up the schedule.
Good.
They can win 5 or 6 of the next games pretty easily. They're going to have to run the ball. That's going to be an issue. Maybe they have to make some, uncharacteristic Packers in-season trade and get a running back because they're going to have to rely on that either way, and they got to protect him. Hundley came in and was sacked 4 times. Aaron Rodgers was sacked 19 times, the most in the league. The offensive line beat up again after they came in healthy, and then Bakhtiari and Balaga left again, so that's going to be the issue.
Put it up there. Put it up there. All right, feel a little bit better. We can work with this. Yeah, we can work with this. Go Pack.
Trubisky beat the Ravens yesterday. Throwing the ball 70 times. Hundley can get some wins. There's a lot of talent there. All right, let's bring in Ian Rappaport, our very own NFL Network insider. Good morning, football to you, Ian. Let's get going. We just saw the highlights. What is the latest on Aaron Rodgers and that collarbone?
Well, we know, Kay, it is a broken collarbone. Aaron Rodgers is going to have some more tests today just to determine the rest of the damage and see how long he is actually out. The Packers believe that being out for the season is a real possibility. That's why they suggested yesterday, before any reports came out, they were transparent with the injury. Here's what it is. We think he could miss the season, and that really is their mindset going forward. And it's the mindset of Brett Hundley, too, that he is taking the starting quarterback job, and that is the way it's going to be during the season. If they get good news from the MRI and from the CAT scan today, maybe Aaron Rodgers could come back late, but that is not the way they are thinking. They believe it is going to be Brett Hundley going forward. And as Schrager said, they like him a lot more than people think. They really think he is a potential future starter. Not for them, but maybe for someone else. And this right here, besides trying to get his team a win, this is his audition.
Buccaneers quarterback Jameis Winston suffered an injury to his throwing shoulder yesterday against the Cardinals. What's the latest on Jameis now?
Not as serious an injury for Jameis Winston. X-rays were negative. They were taken during the game. And, of course, he actually came out, warmed up on the sideline, and had his helmet and everything. Looked like he was ready to go, though obviously it was Fitzmagic back in there in the second half trying to launch an improbable comeback. He's going to have an MRI today, but the hope is it's something as simple as a sprained AC joint in his throwing shoulder, which is obviously not as good as if it was in his non-throwing shoulder. But the belief is right away that this is not a major injury for Jameis Winston. Possibility that he plays this coming week.
Jameis hasn't missed a start in his young career. And moving on, last one for you. Leonard Fournette, the rookie. He left the loss to the Rams. He had a bit of an ankle injury. It looked bad. Was it as bad as it looked?
It was not. In fact, Leonard Fournette was cleared medically to come back into the game. Late in the game, it didn't end up happening. It was a coach's decision to keep him on the field and just be cautious with him. But after that 130-yard game, a 75-yard touchdown run, one of the biggest games of his young and very promising career, they decided, you know what, let's just be safe, keep him on the sideline for now. This is deemed to be a minor ankle sprain. Of course, he has had plenty of ankle injuries in the past. In college, they nagged him, so it makes a lot of sense that the Jacksonville Jaguars were cautious in how they handled Fournette's legs.
Thanks so much, Ian Rappaport, for the update there. We'll check back with you shortly. And coming up, could the Steelers get their edge back against the unbeaten team, the only unbeaten team in the NFL?
Trade them. They're done. Start the backup. Giants go to Denver and win 23-10. Let's hear from that head coach, the tabloid fodder, Mr. McAdoo. Ben, take it away, Coach.
It's more than just today. I need to do what's best for the team, just like we asked the players, just like we asked the coaches. And I thought the team needed me. The whole locker room needed me this week. I needed to be at my best for these players and coaches this week.
All right, Coach Ben McAdoo there. We just heard him talk about offensive play calling duties, which he gave up to offensive coordinator Mike Sullivan. Yesterday, the Giants looked much improved. Defense crushed it, thanks in part to a bit of a larger reliance on the run game. So I want some more highlights because brutal injury. We've got to talk about Aaron Rodgers.